Rogers TV.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Out of the Fog. I'm your host, Laurabel Mba, and happy Black History Month. On today's episode, I get the chance to talk to two amazing young Black men making an impact in our province. I get the chance to sit and talk to Collins Chukwuma, who is the founder of ScanSolve, and I also get to talk to the creative designer behind Suave, who is Panashe Chichaya, also known as Sunny. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about what's going on in Black History Month, the Black space, and in Newfoundland and Labrador, sit back, relax, and we'll get right to it. Welcome back, everyone. I'm now joined by the one and only Collins Chukwuma, who is the founder of ScanSolve. Collins, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
So, it's Black History Month, which means for me, a lot of this month is about highlighting Black people in our province who I think are doing cool and innovative things. And I guess the first place to introduce our audience to you is, who are you and what is ScanSolve?
So I'm Collins Chukwuma. I'm studying computer science and business in Memorial University of Newfoundland, and ScanSolve is a platform to help students learn, and we just kind of like incorporated different study tools, tutoring sessions, and personalized learning to make learning easier for everyone.
Okay, so what was it about your student journey that made you want to start this app?
To be honest, since I came to Mon, it's been very difficult, like catching up to a lot of courses, and then we do take 5 courses, and then you want to reach out to professors after the sessions or after the classes to be able to understand better, and then you have to book a meeting with a professor, and this takes a week or two. Sometimes it could take days, but it's and even with the meetings, it's kind of you get a short time with the professor. But even after that, I still need more help, And then I end up going back home, checking a lot of pages on Google, checking a lot of pages on YouTube and stuff like that, trying to learn more by myself. I felt like there was this gap because. Even what you see on those pages, or even the time we take on those searching those pages, that could be cut down if we had a personalized tutor that knows about me, can hear my accent and can understand me better, and that's what I was looking at, and decided to solve this problem for me and probably every other person that's facing this problem.
So you launched ScanSolve how many years now?
We launched in May 2023, so it's been a year and a few months. So
in a year, you have grown this wonderful, inventive app to over 1 million downloads so far, haven't you?
Yes, currently we are in 2 million downloads.
Okay, so you have hit 2 million downloads in under 2 years. Yeah. How does that feel for you as a young Black man who's still a student, but in the tech space, making history?
I'm not gonna lie, it feels very crazy and very surprising that it went this far. I could have never predicted this going this far. I knew I was solving a problem when I launched ScanSolve, but I didn't know I was solving this was something that a lot of people were facing in the world. ScanSolve grew naturally, and many people, when we launched around 3 months, 4 months after we launched, we got over 5,000 people searching for ScanSolve on the App Store every single day, normally, just word of mouth. So that's when I knew I was up to something really, really crazy.
Okay.
and then, it's really, it just feels nice. I feel very happy, and it makes me feel more dedicated to solving more educational problems for the world.
Okay. So we're in February, which means it's Black History Month, and for a lot of people, as a lot of Black people, they don't usually think of themselves as part of making history. So I'm gonna first let you know you are making history. So let's check that off that list. But for you as a young Black man in the tech space, what does it feel like for you in that world?
Well, I've been in the tech space for a very long time. I'll say since I was a kid. You know, back in high school, I do create websites. I do all this little stuff. It's just been in me. It's been my DNA, right? So it doesn't feel any much difference now. I'll say now it's like I'm hopping the world with tech now. I'm now solving problems and all that. So it feels like good with the business side of things and with creating a company and all that. So it feels good. So I'll say as a Black person in tech, especially in Newfoundland, it's kind of very limited, I'll say, with the resources that we have and every single thing. But so far, it's been very helpful. I haven't been like the best at like making connections, but you know, so far making these connections has been very helpful to me. And I like the fact that like we are still growing, and we are growing very big and strong in Newfoundland. So. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
So as you navigate your space and trying to figure out if Newfoundland Labrador is where you're going to be for the long term, what do you want people to know about you as a Black man in this world and in this province?
Well, one thing I want them to know is that, you know, I myself will keep dedicating much of my time in solving like real problems, and I will keep like trying to solve a lot of problems with tech. I'm gonna keep trying to build like great companies over here, and most of them will be incorporated in Newfoundland. So I will keep trying my best to grow this community and this tech space very much, and really gonna try to help every single person or out there that also wants to like look into this space and wants to like grow too in this space.
So for young Black people who are either new to Canada or who've grown up in Newfoundland and Labrador and this has always been their home, what do you want to let them know about what it feels like to be young and Black in this world right now?
To be honest, I'll say I just want them to know that like they can achieve anything. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. I feel like every young person has goals. But they feel like they need to wait to get started. They need to go through this process. They need to, the normal, like the book of the laws and all that. I barely looked at all these laws. I barely looked at like what I needed to do. I needed to finish school first. I needed to do this, do that. I just went into it. I just got started. At every point of my life, I felt like. Whatever challenge comes first, we face it when it comes. So I feel like everyone should like be able to like open their mind into like starting any idea they have right now. Find any single way possible to just get started, and then like any help or challenge you face along the line will really like be solved at that time. Okay.
So basically, if you have a dream, work towards it.
Work towards it, to be honest. Just get started now, I'll say.
Okay. So as we look at ScanSolve, as your program, your baby, this thing that you started to solve a problem for you, where do you see yourself in the next 2 to 3 years?
Man, I have I have a role model, Mark Zuckerberg. And really, I love what he did with Facebook. 19, built this up, went to 1 million users within 9 months, and really, and really check my life. I've kind of been following the same path, to be honest. And really, wherever he saw himself in the next 2 years, that's exactly where I'm seeing myself in the next 2 years. I want ScanSolve to be a company as big as Facebook. And even if we don't get to that extent, at least we are like a very big player in the education niche. We're already launching different services just to solve more problems in the education niche right now. So that's really my goal. It's a company so big and solving millions of students' educational issues, and that's really my big goal for the next 2 years. I'm saying, I don't want to go into numbers, but we're looking at least we'll be having over 10 to 50 million users using our 10 to 50 million students using our platform. And to be honest, I believe that this is just the start of what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Okay. So there's sometimes people think that Black people in Newfoundland are only usually here to be a student or because they're working in certain fields. What do you want people watching to know about what it's like to be Black in Newfoundland and Labrador?
I used to hear that a lot. People think about Black people like that. We just there for the degree, or we just there for the jobs, and yeah, that's true. I mean, for few people, I would say, but majority of us have goals and dreams like every other person, and the majority of us are working towards it. I would say, I want people to know that I say, we have skills, we have talents. Black people have a lot of that, and we need to be welcomed in all the spaces. I like that is being done naturally now, but I just want people to know that every single person can be great. We can all achieve those things that you see other people that you look up to achieve. And they're great examples doing that how today now, especially in Newfoundland. So really, I just want people to really know that it's possible.
Okay. And then one final question before I let you go. What does Black History Month mean to you?
It's a moment to celebrate us Black people that are really in this province or in Canada really doing great things. Example successes like mine, and also successes that I've heard so many stories, so many success stories. I have friends that are doing great things, and also just a moment to celebrate every Black person in this province. We are doing so great, whether we are studying, whether we are getting a job, or whether we are running a business. We are really doing good, and we should celebrate ourselves and celebrate the achievements that we have gotten to date.
Okay. Now, the very last question, because I tricked you. What is one thing you would like to say to young Collins, who didn't know he'd be sitting here today?
Collins. I'd say Collins puts, there's something that Collins did back then. He was always scared to to jump in the goal, to really take this big risk, and he's always scared. But I'll say start taking risks, start he got some money, put it in that business, run that investment, just get started. And that's why I keep saying get started, because that was something that young Collins never really did back then. And it's a decision that now I kind of don't regret. I always tell people just get started. You can do it. I make people believe in themselves, because that was something that young Collins never really did. And I'm happy that, I did that now. So.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come and chat with me. Happy Black History Month, and I will see you at your next ScanSolve Success Point.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be right back, everyone.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Welcome back, everyone. And if you haven't noticed, I have definitely stepped up my outfit game for the remainder of this episode. And that is all thanks to our next guest, who is Panashe Chichaya, the founder of Suave, also known as Sunny. Panashe, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Laurabel, for the invite.
It is Black History Month, but more importantly, it is Highlight Suave Month right now. So for our viewers who are maybe for the first time getting to know you and your brand, how did Suave come to be, and who are you?
Well, most of my friends call me Sunny. I've been called Sunny since the 3rd grade. Okay. Mostly it was just a random fluke of how my dad signed his name, our last name anyways. He added an S-O-N because He's a guy with so much flair and suave. Anyways, all my friends just started calling me Sunny, and then as time went by, people just said, "You have a Sunny personality," and then I just became Sunny in that sense. But yeah, I'm the creative director and the founder of Suave. What's on the socials and incorporated as NL Suave Incorporated. But globally, that I think of this brand globally. I don't want to restrict it to a location or a region, and it also incorporates so many elements from my background as Zimbabwean or African, and also being not only in Newfoundland but also in Canada as a whole. So we're going with Suave right now. That's the operating name. The goal of this brand is essentially to be like an epitome of Canadian luxury fashion. Like I try to power my products in a luxurious way and market them that way and treat them that way, and hope that the people who wear them also feel luxurious.
From the minute I put all of this on, I'm feeling so luxurious. So you definitely got that together.
Yeah.
And so this is intricate.
Yeah.
This is cool. This is high quality.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a second and talk about what goes into these designs, because we see the artistry in it.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to designing, you can see the African aspects and the African flair, but you also see that Canadian streetwear vibe.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how are you piecing these together? What is the creative genius behind all of this?
So I've been a creative from a really young age, but it was one of those things that I wasn't nurtured to be a creative. I was nurtured to be a science student, like someone who's going to pursue sciences, do medicine or biosciences, that type of thing. But I've always loved to draw stuff and sketch stuff, so that was always my forte. The fashion thing more so came to me when I first moved to Canada, and I was working one of my first retail jobs, and I was working in a store that I really loved. I really enjoyed working for them, and I would always help out people piecing together the outfits that they wanted. And I worked for more retailers that based in formal clothing and that type of thing, and I always wanted to add a little bit of my own touch to it. So the design process goes from me wanting to have access to being in a luxurious space or in a space of luxury, because I always admired how people who had access to things of luxury or brand name clothes, how they that was the thing then, that was the trend, that was the hype. But I also wanted to do something like that, but something that also translated meaning to where I'm from and where I'm at and what I'm doing in that moment. So the more that I started trying to try and get into designing clothes, because essentially I didn't start by designing clothes. I was just doing my own painting and my creative, just drawing stuff essentially. But I just thought, how cool would it be to put this on clothing? So now, I just, from the experience of working in retail and the obsession with Vogue and GQ magazines and runway shows and events, I've tried to see what material what material is considered luxury, or how you can make a material look luxurious, and the fabric composition, that type of thing. Now, I can't sew for anything, but I know the fabric compositions and I know how I want my designs to look. So I end up making my own designs and sketches and getting someone else to make out my samples for me. And then if that's good, then I try and, make a couple of the design and get it out there. So yeah, I just try to make stuff relatable to my headspace then, where I'm from, essentially. That's why you have the main logo here. A friend of mine actually helped me design it. It's half Africa and half maple leaf.
Yeah.
So it tells a story that I'm African, and I'm also Canadian as well, in the sense that I've been here for a long time, and essentially this is home now. So that way, hopefully the larger demographic that's in Canada that also shares an African background gets to also relate to the brand, but also in a sense that doesn't limit the clothing to like only a specific demographic group. So this is just like trying to make sure that when you touch the product, you feel luxury. When you see the product, you see luxury. When you're wearing the product, you feel luxurious. So
yes,
that's
I can automatically say yes.
Yeah.
You do feel it. Like my self-esteem has ballooned since putting on this jacket and a hat. I don't know how I'm going to go out and not have this on me. So we're going to have to work on like outfitting the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's February, which means we are in the midst of Black History Month.
Yeah.
And one of the key things that I love about this month is getting to profile and show Black Newfoundland and Labradorians who are making an impact, but also getting them to share what this month means to them.
Absolutely, yeah.
So for you, what does Black History Month mean for you?
Well, first of all, thank you for the recognition and for categorizing me as someone with impact. It really means a lot. Black History Month for me truly is a moment like I didn't necessarily understand what it meant in the sense that before I moved away from home. Right, like I was in Zimbabwe up until 2017, and then once I moved away from home, and then to see how lonely it can get being away from home, and then how necessarily you don't see people who look like you every day or easily. Like Black History Month for me is just a moment for me to reflect of how far I've come along from, you know, like the move away from being home to like a community that, you know, like that relates to my upbringing and, you know, my societal values, because when you move away from home, you face culture shock and, you know, there's a few things and all those adjustments. But, you know, people who share the same, like essentially like the same values and cultural norms and upbringing as you, like it really does something for you internally. So like, as like, it's nice to see like, you know, Black communities, you know, like just like relate and celebrate Black culture, and, you know, for people like for a race that's usually like, you know, marginalized or discriminated against, to see the celebration of that alone and the potential that Black people have to like elevate our society and, you know, like our communities. It's really, it's a blessing to experience that firsthand and to continually evolve and learn about, you know, Black culture and Black history, not only from an African background, but like, you know, from, you know, like other communities, Caribbean descent, you know, and all that, like all the people that, you know, pretty much would be identified as Black. It's really nice to see like how, you know, the connection of the society really elevates the culture, basically. Yeah.
I'm like listening to you talk, and seriously in my head I was like, this is it. This is what I want people to know and see when they think of Black History Month.
Absolutely.
Because people think of history in a sense of the slavery and all of that, but we are so much more than that.
Absolutely.
And history is constantly being made, so it's nice for people to kind of take in that our history is ever evolving and ever changing.
100%.
And we're resilient and we're celebratory people, regardless of the situations we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
And I love that about this.
Absolutely.
So I have two more questions for you, because I know you're a busy man and I got to get you back to designing fantastic things. For people who are watching and who in Newfoundland and Labrador who may or may not be Black, what would you want them to know about what it's like to be Black in this space?
So to be Black in this space means to be resilient, self-belief, and self-confidence, because without those, like, it's really easy to feel disheartened in a way. I mean, it's also been really nice to also see how, like, the growth and not only the numbers, but also, like, even having access and platforms like these for Black people, which has been like really nice. So I feel like from my own perspective, like the way that I usually, when I say I'm making stuff, or like I try and make stuff for me first, because it builds in like a self-confidence and a self-esteem system, which is internal, that's very strong, that's not impacted by the outside. But also for any Black people in Newfoundland, it's also really assuring to feel that there's always support a stone throw away. So like it's also really nice to know that there's also always people that are rooting for you, like more than you can imagine or more than you think you do have.
Okay. I got 30 seconds left with you before I got to send you back into the world. If there was one piece of advice you would want young Black people to know as they navigate themselves in this space, what would it be?
It would be believe in yourself, make things for yourself, make things that you're happy making, because if you believe in your product, it's easier to sell it to someone else.
Sunny, Panashe, fashion design extraordinaire. Thank you for offering us luxury in a space that we might not always feel is attainable, and for bringing yourself so wholeheartedly to us.
Thank you so much for the invite. I appreciate it. It means a lot.
And we'll be right back, everyone. I want to thank all of you for tuning in again. It's always a pleasure to get to share time and space with you. I want to give a very special thank you to my guests for joining me. Thank you so much to Collins for showing how innovative he can be in the tech space, not just solving problems for him, but for students across the globe. I want to give an extra special thank you to Panashe, also known as Sunny, for showing us how to be luxurious while still being ourselves. You can feel free to check them out on their social medias if you're looking for your next helper on your student journey. Make sure to check out ScanSolve. And if you're looking to upgrade your fashion and feel a little bit more luxurious and suave, check out Suave Fashions. All of their information can be found on their social media. And I can't wait to see you all again next time, and happy Black History Month.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
Four nations facing off.
For what?
For friend.
And foe.
For teammates.
Turned rivals. For the frozen palms of Sweden.
And Scottsdale.
For still believing in miracles.
Leonard.
40 kronor.
For the Maple Leafs.
For the entire world to see.
Four nations facing off.
Welcome to the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Stalo people. The Stalo are people of the river. I'm so thankful for the courage and resiliency of our ancestors who lived on this land since time immemorial. Each of us have gifts from the Creator, and our Creator has a plan and purpose to be fulfilled in our territory. As we embrace our traditional teachings, we can lead the next generation into the fullness of what our Creator designed. Our shared history reveals a broken relationship, but as all Canadians commit to hear truth, acknowledge injustice, we can learn to walk in our traditional way Letsamot, with a good heart and a good mind. Then all of our lives will be enriched. Kwasai.
This is a brain in